Hey everyone, this is Tim from Ozark Sawmill and Services. I'm glad you can join us, and I'm happy to report today that we finally got the Norwood Lumbermax HD38 sawmill put together. We still got one issue though. It's with the digital scale, and Wayne's been working on that with the technicians, and even talking to Dave, who does the sawmill videos for Norwood. He had an HD36, and interestingly enough, he's just put together a Lumbermax HD38, and tonight's his premiere on his first time using it, and the tips for beginning your first milling with your new sawmill. And so he's had quite a few videos on the 36, but now he's going to start doing videos on the 38. Interestingly, at the same time, because my goal is tomorrow to start to do a video on milling up maybe some oak logs that we have. You know, today we got some rain, a lot of rain today, and we got a little break now, and I want to be able to just go through and make sure all the bolts are tight and everything, and then do a trial log and just get comfortable, familiar with it. I'm not going to do a first cut video, because so far it seems like everything that can go wrong has gone wrong, and I don't feel like doing a video with something. I want to make sure the irons are worked out and things are working pretty good, and then hopefully tomorrow afternoon and over the weekend, it may take me some time to edit, we'll have a video milling up some, I'm going to say, some oak logs. But the things with them oak logs, they were cut down a couple years ago, and I've measured them 3 or 4 different times, and I still can never remember what I measured, but they're somewhere between 25 to 30 inches in diameter, maybe even a little bigger, but they're only 39 inches long, and the log beds are 4 feet long, and so we're going to have to build something to be able to do those. When they were cutting down the tree, I don't know why they chose that length, maybe for firewood or something, but those logs were way too big for the Woodland Mills 126, but this sawmill should be able to handle them. And even at 39 inches with that big of an oak, if there's still some solid wood in there, you could make some good coffee tables or end tables, or even just some regular lumber out of them. But so hopefully we'll be able to do a video on that tomorrow, demonstrating this in our premiere. Dave's tonight, and that's Dave. You know, Wayne contacted Dave yesterday on the digital scale issue, and Dave responded to him this morning, and we found out that he's only an hour, 1 to 2 hours away from us. He's in southern Missouri, and we're in North Arkansas. So we're excited about that, because it's always helped to have someone, an experienced sawyer, especially with the same sawmill that you have, to be able to converse with and get encouraged with, because this can be very discouraging at times, even putting this together. We've had another issue when we started this, that the blade was still going in motion. It started slowly going in motion, and it picked up a little bit, and when you're idle, you do not want the blade to move. And so Wayne got on the forum and posted a question if anybody's had this problem, and there was a guy who did, and he gave us a suggestion in it that worked for him, and it also worked for us. So let's see if I could show you what he did, in case you have this sawmill. I gotta get the camera turned here so I can get an issue. I'll be getting hopefully an earpiece for a microphone, because I have issues with this microphone. So hopefully my sound doesn't get too changed. But we're gonna look in here. Here's my finger. If you could see, if I can get you to see this spring here that I'm touching, I pull back a little bit. It has a little bit of a red coating on it. But this spring that's hooked up to this backwards L-shaped piece of metal, he said if you take a flathead screwdriver and push on that in a little bit to release the pressure, that it worked for him, and it also worked for us. So it's always great to be able to solve a problem. So I was able to straighten out the band wheels. I just had to work at it for a couple days, and I'll show you the controls. It's got the same T-handle per se that the Woodland Mills have, but the Woodland Mills require a torque wrench, and they got a little, like a bolt nut welded to the end, and you just take it down to 20 pounds of torque pressure. But here you just want it to have a flush, and then there's a bolt in here, 9/16, that you turn if you need the blade to track back because it's tracking forward too much. You turn it clockwise, and vice versa, you turn it counterclockwise. And it has an adjustment for this band wheel right in here. You can see that little bolt in there. And so we got the hydraulics put on. There was a lot of lines. It was even a chore just to get all these lines tacked up and out of the way. And so we got the log lifters. We got the log levelers. We got 2 of those, one there and one over here with the log rests. We got 2 log rests, and we actually had a 3rd one. We just need another hydraulic line and be able to put that together. But right now we got the 2 working, and we got a log dog there that moves back and forth, and we go with everybody looks, and everybody who sees that apparatus, they think that this sawmill came with its own chainsaw. Kind of don't blame them, because it looks like a chainsaw, but it's actually the log turner. And I kind of like this log turner better than the wood misers, because I like how the teeth are a little closer together and it just looks like it flows. But you know, wood misers are nothing to sneeze at. They got some excellent sawmills out there, but I do like this log turner better, and so we're excited about that. I think I covered everything about the hydraulics. You know, it's going to get interesting to use these levers because they kind of go on a diagonal. If you can see the line that's drawn here, where's my finger, right here, that it goes on the diagonal, even though right there. So these things sort of, when you're looking at them, they're not just straight back, which would have been easier, but it's just something just to get used to. Every new piece of equipment, it's just like starting over, but once you learn it, it should flow pretty good. But I don't know why, but for some reason though, the log lifter, it only has 1 hydraulic hose, and then it has a breather that you put up on the top, and for some reason you got to push it forward to get the log lifters to lift, and pull it back to go back down. And to me that seems backwards, but I don't know if that's the way it's supposed to be or we did something wrong, but it's one way or the other. It still works, and just getting used to. But it's also the same with, here's the controls to lift it up and down, but it's also, to me, seems backwards. But so we must, I don't know what we did, but you pull it back and it goes up. You can see it going up, or there we go. You press it and it goes down. You push it up and it goes down, and I'm not sure why it does that, but I'm just glad it works. So everything here, as far as we know, works, other than we got to get that digital scale put on, and tomorrow or maybe later on today, if the rain holds off, well, I want to just go over the bolts and tighten the bolts a little bit and make sure everything's tight and put together good, and everything's safe to run. And like I said, hopefully tomorrow we'll do a few trial runs on some logs, and then we'll get those oak logs and maybe do a video on milling up some anybody want to take a guess? I'm going to say 28-inch diameter oak logs. They may vary a little bit, but they're 39 inches, so we're going to have to engineer something. But hopefully our premiere will be I'd say over the weekend, maybe Saturday. I got to work Saturday, maybe, you know, Saturday night or Sunday. And Dave's premieres tonight, I think at 8:45 on his running his HD 38. So we're excited. We got one major task taken care of, and then now we got the wood drying kiln to build, and that's going to be another hard project. But hopefully we can get that done and get over this, you know, these projects, that we can start making some sawdust, making some lumber, drying some lumber, and hopefully selling some lumber. That's what it's all about. We got to make a living. I wish we could just play and this could be just a hobby and have fun with, but got to pay the bills somehow. But we're glad you can join us. I got my microphone backwards, so hopefully that didn't mess. No, it don't. It's look at this. Doing these videos are a challenge when you're doing it yourself. Now I look like a reporter. How about that? I look professional. So hopefully we can get this all resolved, and like I said, I'm hoping to get an earpiece that it'll work a little better, and then I won't have to worry about this microphone as much, and hopefully it'll keep out the wind. We're starting to sprinkle here a little more, so we're gonna end this video. Glad you can join us. Just be encouraged to come along with us, and hopefully we can start filming and showing some good videos and maybe teaching you a few things. I'm going to go into, as I started with my other couple videos about the herbs and the medicinal values, and I may redo some of them because I don't get a lot of views to begin with and just trying to start out, but we'll be learning about some medicinal, the values of the logs that we do, and we have another channel, The Gathering Place, that me and my wife do, and I got some honeybees, and we have a certified kitchen that we'll be doing some of our canning products that we put on the market, and we had a garden that we grow things organically, although we're not certified organic, and we just got a lot going on. Wayne's the project manager of things going on in Meadow Creek, so we'll be milling some lumber for projects, and there's an Airbnb here, so maybe after a little bit of time you could even come and spend a weekend and see what we're about. But we're glad you can join us, and we'll continue on.